Just inviting in some presence here. Letting those of you who don't have the patience to receive continue down your little rabbit hole of dopamine. There is a softness happening through the like crumbling of like acceptance. That'll fit if that is for you. Just that. There we go. And this message is very specifically from the energy of the rose. And now my ears are ringing. The secrets of the rose. And I just had a moment. I had purchased myself roses, and there's just like a lot of knowledge that is interwoven in the sacred geometry of the rose that wants to move through this message. A lot of it having to do with like not rushing things, and now they're showing me, because the roses are red and Saturn and Aries, I correlate it with the color red, Aries. And Saturn and Aries right now is really just drawing those reins back, drawing us into mindfulness, into slowly building. And it's very purposeful. I want to remind you of that, whoever is actually sitting and receiving this transmission here. It is so, so important for you to let yourself build slowly and intentionally. And it's sort of now they're bringing in the like Three Little Pigs, right? Like building your house out of different material, and then now they're relating it to my background. For those of you who didn't know, I was raised Mormon, and there's a song about like the wise man. The wise man built his house upon the rock, not the sand. 222. I've been seeing that a bunch as well. Today, 22s, 222, and it's really about getting so clear on your foundation for the next quantum leap that is happening. And it's so interesting, because it's like, wow, they're just coming through straight up, just channeling here. They just showed me, interesting, when I said they're like, it's unique for you and your guides and who you connect to, because they're not even showing me faces, it's just frequency. And right, this baseline that you've always returned back to, right, that baseline, that is what's changing. And so it's pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty intense, right? When we think about like when you crash and you burn and you have those like melting points where it's just like everything's falling apart, everything's not going the way that you desire, and you are at your lowest of lows, dark night of the soul, that foundation, right? The lowest point of your frequency, that is what's changing. And you may be realizing that it does look different. Things aren't, I heard like water off a duck's back, like things, and it's raining, things are not cutting the way they used to or digging the way they used to, because you're changing your foundation. You're changing your core response. And I'm seeing, we were talking about this in my book club channel with Kush. If I don't remember to tag her, please remember Izzy, because you guys should go give her a follow. Sweet, sweet friend of mine I've been friends with for over 6 years, starting her TikTok and exploring that. So she had shared about the like, I forget his name, but the line of like your higher density, lower density emotional expressions. The lower chakras are like guilt, fear, etc., those sorts of things. And I feel like your baseline with like your lower chakras is raising up, in the sense that like when you tune into your root chakra, like stability is literally changing. That's what this whole reading's about. The color red. The roses. The roses. Izzy, duh. No, the color red, your root. It took me a long time to get there. We had to go through the spiral of the rose together, because that is truly what is transforming for you. Your baseline frequency. And if this, what's transmuting right now, is your new baseline, oh, baby. I heard like, to the moon, right? Like Dogecoin. That's funny. That is what Spirit's really trying to like get you clear on, is like you're working on your baseline frequency right now. Like how you, like when you're at your lowest point, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people are gonna look at that and be like, that's not low. I've been worse than that. But here's the truth is, you've been way down. And it's like, you don't need to keep going and picking up people's shit and smearing it all over yourself. That's kind of what it feels like. You've completely cleansed yourself, and now you're able to observe that, and you're like, actually, let me deliver you some wisdom so you can understand how to clear that for you. Because you've been doing that. You guys have been doing that kind of work. I keep like looking over at my cards, like there is a deck that wants to move through. Okay. It is my Shamanic Healing Oracle. Let's... Ooh, I see spirals. Sacred Space and Duality. Wow. Just looking at the spiral on this card, and then Duality. I think it's like you are on, what's at the bottom here? Psychic development. The swan. Swans might be significant for you right now. And now I'm hearing swan song. This is not a swan song. We just gotta hold on tonight. I think that's from Anita Battle Angel, that song. It's by Sia. What did we just split to? Ascension. Are you freaking kidding me? I can't make this up. Ascension. Like, I feel like you've moved to a different echelon, and that sounds so strange, but it's like you're like, oh, I get it now. Like all these thought stories or thought groups around like actually embodying this frequency, and now you're embodying it, and you're like, oh, I get it. I get why some people just stop talking to certain people, or they just remove themselves, and it's not from hatred, it's from like, this is just not in alignment anymore. And like you really are moving, and your ego here is so aware of like, that's the duality that's coming in, is spirit versus ego within you, where it's like you're wrestling with the change that's transforming. Like, how can I bridge the gap? How can I help those close to me move up the ladder with me? And now I'm seeing like Jacob's ladder. And we had that duality card, and then we have, okay, we have one of my favorite cards from my deck, which is like this old couple, and this for me represents relational legacy and like long-term relationship. And then we have the walking, and then these two people standing in a sand labyrinth, and that kind of feels like you're creating a sacred space within yourself to make room for this to come in. Like, this is guaranteed, yes. And now this is making me think of I just joined a new space for myself, and this was something I was connecting. It was a space I had joined 2 years ago, and I shared with them in one of our live calls. I said I was not the woman yet who was able to receive the frequency of this container, so I had to leave, and now I'm back. And one of the people who was cultivating this container, she sent me a voice message this morning, and she was like, we were not yet the container to receive you where you're at. Like we've all grown together in different ways so we can receive each other. And that's what I'm really feeling with you, is like you are preparing yourself to be received and receive other people of similar frequencies, and it's all down to your root. And it really does. Psychic development and ascension. Like you're just going on up. Only up from here, baby. All right, I'm going to leave this here. My readings are open if you want to dive deeper. I love you guys. Isis